Hello everyone, my name is Lakna. Welcome to my channel. So in this video I want to talk about the next full moon that is happening very soon, around the 25th or 26th of January depending on where you live. And in Vedic sidereal astrology, this full moon is happening in the sign of Cancer in the nakshatra called Pushya. And this nakshatra Pushya means to nourish or to be nourished. And so these are the themes that are going to arise at this time of the full moon, which is going to illuminate to us areas of our life that we have not been able to face for whatever reason, and shadow aspects of ourselves that we have not really been aware of. These things will be illuminated to do with the themes of how we nourish ourselves, how we nourish our life, and how we nourish the people around us and this world that we live in, how we nourish. And the Cancer is the sign ruled by the moon. Cancer is one of the most nurturing and nourishing and motherly signs. And this nakshatra is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is actually quite nurturing in its own unique way as well, because Saturn teaches us more of a fatherly approach of nurturing ourselves. I remember once hearing in a Jay Shetty podcast of how there is this difference between self-care and self-love, where self-care is just as important as self-love, but self-care can be seen as doing more of that divine feminine things that we need to do for ourselves by really nurturing ourselves and really allowing our bodies to rest when we need to, eating the right foods, nurturing ourselves, drinking water when we need to, making sure we're replenished, working out, doing things that make us feel good. But self-love can be seen as actually doing the really hard and difficult, but also very necessary things that allow us to grow and allow us to flourish. And Saturn is all about doing those things, the hard work, the discipline, creating structure and stability in our life, having boundaries with people when we need to, so that we can do the things that we need to do and to protect ourselves as well. And yeah, hard work, discipline, structure, all of those things are just as important. Then also in this nakshatra, the deity is Brihaspati, who is Jupiter. So Jupiter also is a massive part of our nurturing of ourselves. So in order to really nurture and nourish ourselves, we also have to have a really strong connection to our truth, to our understanding of life, to the deeper meanings and the truths of life and spirituality, having a devotion and a connection to God or to the universe, whoever you believe in. These things are also just as important. And it's also really important to understand your purpose and your values and your morals and your ethics, and that, I believe, comes through this wisdom of Jupiter, who helps us to understand why it is we even do the things that we do, because then you understand why you're doing certain things, treating yourself the way that you do, treating others in certain ways. Jupiter will help us to understand especially the shadow aspects of ourselves and of our life and how they have come about. So these three planets really allow us to gain a real understanding of how it is we nurture and nourish ourselves. And then we can understand why it is we do the things we do to other people and why it is we do certain things in our life to ourselves, and how this is all connected in this whole thing of like really just nurturing and nourishing ourselves in the most highest vibrational way. And some of the symbols of this nakshatra, so there is the udders of a cow, and that really connects to that Cancer moon energy, which is super motherly, super nurturing. The cow offers its milk to its calves, and that milk is that motherly nurturing. And then there is the symbol of a flower blossoming, and this shows us, the flower teaches us honestly how important it is, our environment around us. So the flower blossoms with proper nurturing through that moon energy of, you know, showing the flower love, telling the flower that it's growing beautifully, that showing it that motherly nurturing, watering the flower, giving the flower the proper soil and nutrients it needs to grow. But then we also need that Saturnian energy of understanding that this flower needs to be in the right environment, the right structure, the right grounding, the right protection, and also making sure that this flower is watered every single day, and, you know, enduring through that, being persistent and consistent, and doing the right appropriate things even when you're tired, like making sure that you are looking after yourself, you're looking after that flower, which is you. And then that Jupiterian energy of really understanding why it is you're actually watering yourself, you're actually feeding yourself. What is the purpose of the actions that you're taking? What are the values and the purpose, and where do the morals come through? Like, where have you decided to grow this flower? Is it the right environment? Because Jupiter will help you understand exactly where you're supposed to grow and what environment you will thrive in and why, because we are all unique individuals that have really a beautiful place where we can really thrive. Like, some of us love winter, some of us love the summer environments. Like, it really depends on so many different things. And that is not to say that you don't have the power to thrive in any environment. We humans can adapt to anything and everything. Like, we always have that power, and that is another symbol of this star that shows this is the circle. So the circle shows us that we are always whole and complete within ourselves. We don't actually even need anything outside of ourselves, but we are worthy and deserving of living in and experiencing this life in the environments that we can thrive in. We can live in an environment with other flowers around us that understand us, that love us, that get us, and that we can really grow together and thrive together in. Like, you don't have to be an odd flower growing with a bunch of cactuses or something that is totally not aligned with you. But if that is something you feel like you need to, like, you feel intuitively like you need to be that odd one in a random group of other plants growing, like, maybe that's what you need. Like, you know what you need, and Jupiter will allow us to really gain that divine wisdom and insight on what we're doing with our life and how aligned it is for us. So the full moon is always such a powerful time for us to go within and meditate, and there is so much light from the moon shining on our shadows, on our areas of our life that we need to really take a good look at. So this, or another symbol of the star, is the arrow, which is, the arrow is moving forward towards a particular goal and purpose, and the arrow is really like just moving. It's not thinking, it's just like moving straight ahead, and it has a target, and that target is our goals and our purpose, and this is determined by our values in our life and what we are moving towards. And so this is the time at the full moon to really reflect on that, and where have we directed that arrow towards, and why. And different things can come up at the time of the full moon that can get us to really reassess our arrows that we have set targets towards, and to reassess where we are growing, where we are flourishing, to reassess that milk that we are getting from the mother cow. So with the udders of the cow, are we gaining enough of that nourishment from the milk? Is that feeding us? Is that sustaining us? Is that giving us enough warmth and self-love and self-care? Is that filling our cups enough to the point where it is overflowing and we're able to give back through an overflowing filled cup? Or are we gaining that milk and giving that all away to the people around us, to the life around us, and forgetting to feed and nourish ourselves because it has to come to us first? That is a massive life lesson for Cancer, is to not overgive without first giving to yourself, and also to give to the right people and to the right situations and environments, which Jupiter is really going to help us discern and understand where to share our milk or our energy with. In the circle, are we feeling whole and complete in our life? Are we feeling centered amongst all of the chaos that happens around us? Are we able to be that circle of wholeness and centeredness, and just really feel strong and secure in ourselves, which Saturn will really help us to do when we take those disciplinary steps and having strong boundaries. The circle is literally a massive boundary around us that no one can come inside that circle, our bubble, unless we allow them to. I really feel this is a beautiful time for us to do any shadow work, or especially connect with our inner child in this time, because this is really a significant time of reparenting ourselves, of being the mother and the father that we need for our inner child, and really reflecting on the shadow aspects of ourselves that we are still carrying now, that a lot of this is to do with our inner childs and what sort of nourishment we are lacking that we now can really give to ourselves. And it may be through the more motherly aspect, that Cancerian aspect of nurturing ourselves and loving ourselves with that feminine energy, or maybe the more masculine approach through that Saturnian energy, or it may even be this divine spiritual wisdom that we need from Jupiter to help guide our inner child and really show our inner child that we can see our life now through such a higher perspective, and that they have nothing to worry about, that they are safe, that they are loved, that they are protected and divinely guided in this life. So this full moon is really going to offer you the chance to reflect on the ways in which you nourish and nurture yourself, your life, and the people around you, and really reflect on the ways that you have been nourished and nurtured by others up until now, and the patterns around nurturing and nourishing yourself, and what needs to be faced and embraced and accepted within you. And do you truly love yourself? Do you care about yourself, that you're able to nourish and fill up your own cup before nourishing and nurturing the world around you? And it is such a powerful time to just really reparent ourselves, focus on our inner child and our inner child's needs, and do shadow work if you feel called to, meditate if you feel called to, and journal about these things. And Saturn is really going to help you to put up those stern boundaries in your life where you need to really put yourself first more. And the Cancer moon energy is really going to offer that divine feminine wisdom and that love from the feminine to help you to be more open and receptive to being nurtured and nourished by others. And that Jupiterian wisdom is really going to allow you to see the purpose behind the ways in which you nurture and nourish yourself and others, the deeper motivations that guide you and lead you down certain paths of where even the environment that you live in and the people that you associate with, these are all aspects of how you are nurturing and nourishing yourself and your being, and really placing yourself in the areas in which you will thrive for you and thrive for the people around you. Jupiter is going to give you those deeper spiritual truths and understanding of all of the motivations of your purpose, of your morals, your ethics, your values, and if your life truly aligns with all of that. So these are just some of the themes to focus on, that, or you don't even need to focus on these themes. They will arise at this time of the full moon, and I pray that you all have some deep, meaningful realizations and epiphanies come through. I hope that this full moon treats you all with so much nourishing love and self-love and self-care, and whatever it needs, for whatever you all need to feel in this time. And I hope that you all build just a deeper connection to yourselves through this beautiful, loving full moon. It is a very auspicious nakshatra, which means we just have a beautiful energy that we can embrace at this time and really grow and blossom from, like that flower. So yeah, I hope that you all have such a healing full moon. I will speak to you all in the next video.